Hi YouTubers, how are you doing again? This is Jacqueline. I'm getting back on here because I had said I was going to do my results for GEDmatch, and of course I did upload my results, and I tell you what, it looks like they're a lot more specific than what I found with Ancestry.com and also with 23&me. But I did upload my results from both of the other sites on here because you don't send your raw data into them, but once you have your raw data, you're able to upload your raw data results onto their site, and you get even more insight into what makes up you. So what I'll do today is I'm going to go through each one of the ones that I see here, just one of each, because it's just too many. It's very extensive, but I will do one of each. And the first one that I'm picking is going to be the first one that I see. It's called MDLP K13 Ultimate. That will be like one of the very first choices that I see here. It looks like Ultimate is at the very top of the list, so I'm picking it. And right now I'm waiting for it to load up my results. Okay. It varies based on how many people are on. Right now it looks like there are 50 users on. So it's ready, and I'm going to explain it to you. This one is simple. It's not too hard to read. It's pretty clear. Here's a screenshot of it for you. That's how it looks. Now, it's broken down into categories, which, to be honest with you, I don't know what these mean yet. ANE is 4.45%. ASI is 0.25%. ENF is 8.48%. Paleo African is 3.84%. Siberian is 0.67%. It looks like the Sub-Saharan is different from the results I got from the other ones. Now, this has Sub-Saharan as 77.26%. And it has WHG-UHG at 5.05%. So now it has three things under here. One says Oracle, one says Oracle 4, one says Spreadsheet. So I'll just hit the one in the middle just to get an idea of what we have here. Oh, now what it's doing is it's breaking it down into, on this particular one, it looks like different groups that they think that you may be affiliated with. So it looks like it's valued numerically, and it's based on, from what I see here, they say that they're using the least squares method. So I guess the least number of squares, the lower the number, the closer it is to what they feel you are. And as you can see on my screen here, it shows Afro-American is first, which makes sense because both of my parents are Afro-American. So that makes sense. Afro-American is at 1.353817. So that's pretty close. The next closest one for me is going to be African, Caribbean, Barbados, which makes sense because I have a grandmother some generations back who was from Barbados. And it looks like first they use one population, then they use two, then three, then finally 4 populations. And in my case, it looks like Afro-American at each level is the same. Afro-American is the number one closest fit for me. And it looks like the Afro-American is they have it as the number one choice all the way down. Then when they get to 4 populations, that's when they break it down into a number of different people, all the way from the first choice to the 20th choice. And it looks like it's valued according to the least squares method. So still, it looks like my number 2 is pretty close. The number 2 choice, that's going to be Afro-American Colored, that EC. Now, I'm going to take a stab that that's going to mean Eastern Cape, as in Cape Colored, South Africa. Isan in Nigeria, and Yoruba in Nigeria. That's at 2.922449 chance. So that's still really close too. That would be my next group. So of possible matches to my ancestry. So I've played around with that one a little bit. Let's try another one. We're going to try a different one this time. I'm going down the list. Eurogenes, that's the next one. So now I'm going to go on and put in the kit number as it asks. There's a little space where it says enter your kit number, and also select the calculator. So see, it's different calculators based on what you select. So I'm going to go on and put in the kit number again. And then it's giving me a choice of different kits here. And they have a lot of kits. Wow. I think I'm going to go on and just pick the first one. I'm going to keep with that trend. Just maybe pick the first, or I might change it up a little bit later. But let's just go with the one that says K13. But I've heard about the V2 K15. Let's try the V2 K15. It sounds like more. Just on side alone, 15 versus 13. Now it says click here to continue, so I'm clicking that. It doesn't seem to be doing anything yet, but that may be due to user error. So I won't blame the site for that. Let me try again. Oh, there it goes. It was user error. So let's see here. It's working now. I will say it works very quick. It doesn't take a very long time to get your results so far. Based on the second one that I'm doing here, it takes about a minute, maybe a minute and a half. Oh, it's coming up now. Now this one is Eurogenes EU test. V2 K15. This one has a few more different things on it. I like how it's laid out too. And I like the fact that the names are easy for me to figure out, rather than like the other one where there were a lot of like numbers or letters that I didn't quite understand. But with this one, it's simple for even someone like me to understand. Let's see. It's broken down pretty clearly with things that you may have heard of before. The first one is North Sea. That's 8.43. Then we have Atlantic, which is 4.54. This is broken down in percentages, I can tell. Baltic, which is 3.03. We've got West Mediterranean, I can make that out. That's 0.33. We've got South Asian, which is 1.40. We've got Amerindian, which I remember they found a trace of that on Ancestry. That is 0.56. We've got Oceanian, excuse me. That's 0.06. We've got Northeast African, which is 5.40%. And we've got Sub-Saharan, which is 76.22%. I've noticed on these tests with GEDmatch, the Sub-Saharan is different from what I got on my other ones. It's in the 70s rather than in the 80s. So I don't know why that is, but for some reason they just predict it lower. So what I did was I picked on the middle one again because I like that. That's where it looks like it's doing It's where it breaks it down into tribes for you, or groups, or ethnic groups, what have you. Because I noticed here that it's using the one population method. And here, rather than have the Afro-American group, it looks like it's going strictly into, as I said, ethnic groups, or so-called tribes, but I like the word ethnic group. And it looks like my first one is Bantu Southeast, which kind of goes along with my Ancestry.com results, which said that my main ancestral origin would be Cameroon, Congo. And I know that that's a Bantu group. And I believe that they may have started in Central Africa and they spread down into Southeast Africa. And I remember that I did have some results for the hunter-gatherers as well in Southern Africa. So anyway, it looks like the closest group here, as you can see, in my case, is going to be the Bantu. That's for the one population. If you go into two populations, it says 50% Bantu Northeast, 50% Mandinka. Then 50% Mandinka, 25% Swedish. Now they're getting into the European, adding that in. And then Yoruban, 25% as well. If you go into four populations, it's showing Mandinka, Swedish, Yoruba, and Yoruba again. So that's a pretty neat one. I like this one too. I like that. But let's see. I'm going to go on into the third one now. Let's see here. Excuse me if I'm sweating a little bit, guys. You know what? My air conditioning went out today, but I'm trying to live through it. Let's see here. The next one is going to be, it's called Dodecad. So we're going to try that one. And it looks like their choices. They have one that's called a V3. They have several ones. They have an Africa9. I would kind of like to look at the Africa9 and see what that says. Let's see what it says about Africa9. It let me use the Africa9. That's good. The Africa9 breaks it down nicely too. I like that. It says unable to open for some reason. I don't know what the deal is with that one, but it does break down the different regions. It doesn't give me any further way to get into it and find out more about its ethnic groups, but at least it breaks down my populations there, as you can see. And in this case, it looks like Europe is 11.64. Northwest Africa is 1.80. Southwest Asia is 4.42. And you know what? I want to say that brings me to what one commenter said on my last video, said that he saw the Asian, and maybe there is more to that, you know, because I see that this is bigger than it was on any of the other ones that I tried so far. So maybe there is some Asian there that I don't know a lot about, although I did find that I have a, you know, cousin, about 3 cousins who are from the Hawaiian Islands. So there seems to be some link to that region. So there seems to be something to that. I just wanted to let you know who you are. Now, also, we have East African, which is 5.78%. We have South African, which is 12.13%. So again, it seems like there's a big link to South Africa in my genome. We have Mbuti. I believe aren't they in South Africa too? You all can let me know. I'm not sure. But that's 3.47%. We have West African, which is 52.26%. So it seems like In my case, it's more broadly spread across the country and not just West Africa, but still at 52.26%, certainly it looks like, you know, by a margin there, that's the majority. We have Biaka, which is at 6.27%, and we have the San, which I remember mentioning before that I thought that Khoisan was related to the hunter-gatherers. I know that they have Khoisan, but there are also people like the Pygmies. There are lots of different groups. I'll have to look more into that. Anyway, that sort of breaks that one down, and that's how that one works. At least that particular test. I'm sure that they have other ones here other than the Africa one. And what I'll do, since, well, that one did mention the European ancestry too. It's not that I'm trying to just look at the African and not look at the whole picture. I do want to let you know that, but it just caught my eye. So what I'm doing is just a second one there, just a general one called the V3, to see what it comes up with. Because there were a lot of choices on this one. Here it is. Oh, this one is nice. I like how it breaks it down into Neo-African and Paleo-African. And it also mentions the European ancestry. This one is pretty neat. I won't go through all of the figures here, but look. See? That's that one. Now we're getting out of here for a moment. Oh, let me see what the Oracle 4 here says. Okay. ASW. I've read about that. That's a African American, I think Southwest it's called. It may have been a test group of people that they used in Denver, which ironically, that's where I am. Let's see here. And it looks like at the very bottom, it just, in my case, it's a ASW. That will be the African Americans in the Southwest. All the way down until you get to 3 and 4 populations. It's African American Southwest with part Luhya, which is from Kenya. And as previous on the other test, they had mentioned that I have the Kenyan ancestry, so that that part doesn't, at this point, surprise me. Let's take a look here. Now I'm going on with the next one. After that one comes Harappa World. Harappa World. Wow. Let's see, they don't have any choices with Harappa World. It looks like it just runs for you. Let's see here. It's allowing me to put in my kit number. Now I can continue. So I didn't get any choices on Harappa World. Maybe it's just one. Maybe the designer just has not expanded it yet. But it's running right now. Harappa World has a lot of choices. Look at that. It breaks it down into several different things and a lot of things that I haven't seen before. Look at this one. As it reads, it's South Indian. So there's a little Indian aspect there. South Indian is 0.83%. Black is 1.29%. I'll have to read about them. Caucasian is 0.69%. Northeast European is 9.34%. We've got Amerindian again at 0.19%. We've got a group called Varangian, which is 0.52. We've got Mediterranean at 5.16. We've got Southwest Asian, so the Asian again at 0.07. We've got San again, as in Khoisan, at 1.02%. 0.53. We've got East African at 4.09. We've got Pygmy, so it's both of them. It's Sand and Pygmy. Pygmy is at 4.39%, so it's actually more. West African is, in this case, 71.89%. Let's see here. And it's broken down. It looks like using 3 and 4 populations, 1 population, all the way through here. It has African American as the first choice for what they can put together with my genome. So no surprises there. So that's Harappa World. The next one is EthioHelix. Is that what it's called? EthioHelix. Yes. Okay. Let's see what this one does. And we're almost at the bottom now. That's good. It would take weeks or months to go through all of these, maybe, depending on your schedule. Let's see here. So they have more than one calculator here. EthioHelix breaks it down into French, Japanese, and Palestinian. And then they have one for Africa only as well. So what I'll do here is I'll try one of each, except we'll make it really quick with this one. Not because I'm in a hurry, but because you may be in a hurry and I don't want to take all day. Let's see here. This one is, I get the same error message, unable to open, but it does nicely break down the Ancestry, and it looks like from what it's saying, they're using French as a proxy for all European ancestry. And then it breaks it down into your African groups. See that? Now, what I'm showing here is Nilo-Saharan, which again, I believe that's in the Kenya area. 4.25. North Africa at 1.40. Eastern Bantu, which, again, remember on Ancestry, if you watch my first video, they had mentioned that Cameroon Congo was my greatest region. So I noticed here Eastern Bantu is 22.75%. Khoisan again at 3.57%. West Africa is only 46.36% here. Okay. Hasta is 2.64. Biaka Pygmy is 5.01. And it looks like French is 14. So that's the proxy for European ancestry of any kind. Now I think I'll go on and do the EthioHelix again. But this time what I'll do is, instead of going for European, I'll go for, let's take a look here, same kit number. Instead of doing French, I'm going to do Japanese. Let's see about that Asian that they have found. I want to see if I can find out a little bit more about that. So this one, it says Japanese, that's the proxy for Asian ancestry. Okay. And this shows it. We have Nilo-Saharan at 8.08. Emotic. That's, I believe they're in the Kenya area too. 2.10. The Pygmies again. Mbuti Pygmies, 2.13. East Africa, 1. 4.64. Khoisan again at 5.63. West Africa on this one is 47.60%. Hasta is 2.97. Biaka Pygmy is 10.01. North African on here is 12.14. That's a lot of North African on here. And then Japanese, yes, it looks like there's an Asian component in my ancestry. This one has 4.71% on the Japanese category. See? Okay. Now, we've got that one. And let's see what their other choices are. Because we're near the bottom now of their choices, thank goodness. Let's take a look here. And thank you for your patience. Because I locked myself out, I had to lock back in. But I'm back on now. Back to, I kind of like this EthioHelix for some reason. I think I like it because it's simple enough. There are not that many choices, just 4. But it sort of compares your DNA to a lot of different regions. We're talking Asian, European, or Middle Eastern. And there's one for Africa only. So now I'm doing Palestinian, which is the proxy for all Middle Eastern ancestry. Interesting. Okay. It's kind of funny how I got something in every category. I really can't wait until we learn more about the whole DNA mystery, because it seems like with a lot of us, they've only reached just the very tip of the iceberg, and there's so much left to learn. And obviously, each time I do one of these, I've so far looked into French. There was French, or so-called European, not just French. We found with the Japanese one, Asian, and now I see with the Palestinian, this would be the proxy for all Middle Eastern ancestry. It seems to be quite high too. It seems like in my case, the Asian was actually lower than the European and Middle Eastern. See? Palestinian 13.85. So here we have Nilo-Saharan again, tied to Kenya, as we said before, 4.02. We have East Africa, again, same Eastern Africa, it's 3.45. We have the Pygmy again, which is 2.15. We have Eastern Bantu again, which is 25.38. We have Khoisan at 4.69. Wow, on this one we have West Africa down to 32.59%. We have Hadza. I called it Hasta before. It's actually Hadza. It's 3.13%. We have Yaka Pygmy, which is 5.95. The Palestinian is 13.85. Interesting. That's pretty high. And we have the Omotic people, which I've seen, beautiful people, 4.80. So that's pretty cool. I like that. You might try it too. I want to see how it works for you. Please let me know how it does. Now, the last one on theirs, and then I'm going to move to the last couple, is they have one that's called Africa Only. Let's see here. Well, it says that this one, the results are currently only meaningful for persons who are 100% African. So, hey, I would love to be able to say that, but I can't say that. So, in dealing with reality, I just won't look into that one because it's not going to be meaningful for me. Now, let's see the next one. They have so many projects to choose from. That's a beautiful thing. The next one is called PuntDNA. PuntDNA. That's what it's called. And let's see what it looks like. It's the next to last one. Again, I can put in my kit number. And this one is nice. It's broken down into ancient ancestry, modern, K15, and African only. I wonder if this one will let me do African only. Let me try. Because I've done other ones. I would just like to try African only and see if it can shed any light on that African ancestry. And maybe narrow it down to certain people, certain ethnic groups. Okay. I like how this one is broken down as well. And again, this ties in very nicely with my ancestry results because as you can see, Congo is strongly represented there. Look at that. How many are Congo? And they had said, I'm Cameroon Congo. That's my main DNA link. So let's see what this says. It says Nilo-Saharan, 3.44%. Ubangian Congo is 2.25%. West Benue Congo is 44.99%. Eastern HG is 2.35%. East Benue Congo is 26.77%. We have a Motic, that's a people in Eastern Africa, that's 0.92. We have Southern again, Southern HG. I'm going to guess that's Southern hunter-gatherers, just like on Ancestry. That's going to be 4.37%. And then Western Semitic, at 14.91. Okay. So what does that translate to on my new favorite, which is Oracle 4? That's what it's called, the middle option, because it shows your tribes. Okay. Least squares method. And this breaks it down into African groups only. The first group for me, Democratic Republic of the Congo, which we got that from Ancestry. That's my closest one. Then comes, using two populations, we have 50% Cameroon Fang, 50% Nigeria Fulani. Now see, this is the first time Nigeria comes strongly into play because Ancestry said Nigeria was only 4%. Using three populations, we have 50% Cameroon Fang, we have 25% Nigeria Fulani, and another 25% Nigeria Fulani. So that seems like a mixture. Of course, I believe, if I'm correct, I might be wrong, please let me know if I am, that the Fulani are nomadic people. They did move around. They're semi-nomadic, some of them now, but I believe that they are people with mixed ethnicities, so maybe that's where that Western Semitic comes in with them. I'm not sure if that's the case or not. I'm just making a guess. Now, using four populations, it looks like we have Cameroon Bamon, Nigeria Fulani, and South African Pedi, the Pedi people. Nice. I like that one. This one is fun. I think you'll have a lot of fun playing around with that one as well. So I did Africa only because I wasn't able to do Africa only on the other one. Now I want to move on to the last one, which is GEDrosia DNA. GEDrosia DNA. Okay, let's try that one. That's the last category. So again, the kit number. And then it gives you choices too. You have Eurasia. You have Eurasia K9 ASI. You have another one that's K10 CHG. You have a K11. Wow, you have a lot of Eurasian categories here. And since I want to look more into the Asian again that I saw previously, I'm going to just go with the very first one, Eurasia K9 ASI. Let's see what that one is about. They have so many choices here. Oh, and that was very quick. It came up right away. All right, very good. Now we're back to my West African being high again. Not that I have anything against any other ancestry. It's just this is more in line with what I've seen on my previous test. Because for a while it kept going down and down. Now with this particular one, their titles are really long. But I'll show you a bit of it. Really long titles. As far as percentages, it looks like on this one, it shows Southeast Asian at 0.31%. It shows early Neolithic farmers at 1.20. It also shows Southwest Asian at 1.64. So there is some Asian component. It shows ancestral South Indian at 1.43%. So it looks like the Indian is almost about the same as the Asian in percentage. Well, if you put the Southeast Asian and the Southwest Asian together, it's slightly more. But it's a small part of my genome, it looks like. We have Eastern Hunter-Gatherer at 3.86%. We have WHG, which is at 8.68. We've got Siberian East Asian. It doesn't have any percentage. We've got Caucasus hunter-gatherers at 2.59%. And then on this one, we have West African back up to 80.30%. Now, let's see here. It shows the populations. It's doing the least squared method again. So, using the least squares, my first one I'm showing here is Mota. And I'm not sure if any of you know about Mota, but I've heard about Mota because I read about this, and I'm sure a lot of you do too. Mota would be a very old skeleton, like I guess we could say a mummified body that was found in Ethiopia. So that would be my closest, Mota. The second one would be 50% Mota, 50% Mota. So it looks like that Mota man again. Now the three populations is going to be 50% Isan, which is in Nigeria, we remember. 25% Isan, also in Nigeria. And 25% Tatars. I think it's pronounced Tatars. That's a, I know that that's an ethnic group in Eastern Europe. I believe that Tatars are a small ethnic group that was in Russia as well. You might remember that I had a bit of Russian Finnish. I don't know if that's related, but 25% Tatars. Using four populations, we have Isan, 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 Tatars, excuse me. Okay, so that would be my first population under the using for population. So that's all of them. That's every single one. You guys can play around with it too and find out what yours may be. I can't wait to hear from you and see what it would be. But hey, this has been pretty long, but we've gone through each one. I hope that it helps you with understanding how the GEDmatch works more. And I look forward to your comments and any questions, anything that you may have discovered on there that might help me with understanding it more. Thank you very much, and I look forward to hopefully getting a chance to talk with you soon.